What's up mod squad, MOB back with another Division 2 video. In today's video I'll be showcasing and breaking down my TU6 SMG BERSERK build. I said before TU6 was released I was really excited to run SMGs again, and I can honestly say I have not been disappointed. This build is great for both PvP and PvE. With the simple change of the mask you can go from PvP build to PvE build, just by switching the crit chance roll to damage to release and replacing the talent on the mask with hard hitting. The PvE version is capable of hitting up to 111k crits to the body of elite NPCs, which I'll showcase in this video. This build isn't even mid-max and it feels super strong. Where the build is currently lacking is with the health rolls on the bag and holster. I can get up to 50k plus on my bag and 45k on my holster. I could also switch out my current gloves from Murakami, which will give me an extra 8% health. Now because we're running clutch we only have 4 blues to work with, so we need to make those rolls count. With that said, I do recommend maybe giving up 1 health roll on your mask for 50% hazard protection, as well as having the talent insulated on your mask for a further 30% hazard protection. I recommend this because PvP in TU6 is riddled in status effect builds and explosive builds. Having 100% hazard protection means you're going to be fully immune to any status effects and you'll take less damage from explosives. It also nerfs the damage of the enemy because a lot of people's builds are reliant on you being under a status effect in order for them to do damage. For example, players running Wicked and Sadist on their builds won't get those damage buffs if you're not under a status effect. That's around 45% damage they're not going to be putting out on you because you're immune. So from now on guys, I'm always going to recommend when it comes to PvP builds that you reach 100% hazard protection. It's just going to make your life a lot easier because I've tried to play without any hazard protection and it's not a fun time, put it that way, so trust me, you want to run it. Now before we get started, don't forget to smash that like button to help support the channel and the video, and leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys are feeling about TU6. I know a lot of people like it and then there's a lot of people that dislike it, so you guys let me know down in the comment sections below. And with that said, let's get into this build breakdown video, starting off with the specialist. And I recommend using the demolitionist for the talent crisis response, which is when armor is reduced to 0, refills all main weapon ammo. That way you can face trade without having to worry about reloading. Another reason I recommend the specialist is because it allows you to ignore explosions once every 50 seconds, which is great seeing as everyone's running seeker mines or some form of explosive build. Now moving on to the gun we are using, which is the MP5, my favourite sub since the Division 2 beta. I'm so happy to be able to use it again. If you want though, you can use a Vector or an MPX, it's all preference, but I prefer the MP5. And we are running it with Strained and a leg row. The third talent isn't majorly important, but you don't have to run Strained either. You can run Close and Personal, which is if you get killed in 7 meters you get 50% extra damage. Crazy talent, and I'm waiting to get that talent drop for me so I can run it. When it comes to the attachments, pause the video guys if you want to go over it. It's all crit chance and crit damage because we're trying to stack as much as we can. It is very important that you hit the max 60%. Now we are running a Merciless for its holster talent, and this is important because this holster talent is what is going to proc Spark continuously. So the holster talent says, while holstered, landing a shot has a 5% chance to deal 100% damage as an explosive damage. So as you can see by the description on Spark, explosive damage is going to proc that. Now you have 5% chance for each bullet in a 53 mag, you know, that's plenty of chance, and it stays off for 15 seconds, so you can proc it multiple times as long as you're shooting your gun. Now when it comes to our sidearm, we're just running it for the holster talent, which is overlap, so that gives us an extra 5% weapon handling. It's just going to help with the stability of the weapon. With weapons out of the way guys, we're going to move into the build. Our mask right here, our first piece of wave and wear, we have crit chance, health, and then the new talent concussion. So if you want to go for those headshots you can. I do recommend you go for hazard protection though. Moving on to our chest piece is one piece out of 2 pieces of Sokolov, which gives us SMG damage and critical hit damage. We have critical hit damage rolled on there, health, critical hit chance, weapon damage, and you can see I have 50k health on there. These health rolls are very important to this build. Our talent on the chest piece is Berserk, so as our armor goes down and we're left to our health, our damage goes right up. And then we also have an offensive mod which has 5% SMG damage on it. Onto our holster, which is our second piece of Sokolov. It has critical hit damage, health, and critical hit chance, and then the talent on it is critical for that critical hit damage. Again, we can improve on that health roll. Health is majorly important on this build. Moving on to our backpack, our wave and wear backpack. We have weapon damage, health, and critical hit chance. Again, that health roll can be improved. We have vital, so that gives us a 25% health. And then we've gone over this before, spark, damaging enemies with skills or explosives grants 50% weapon damage for 15 seconds, and I've explained to you guys how you pop that over and over without having to rely on a skill. Moving on to our gloves, and these gloves can be changed to Murakami gloves. We have SMG damage and of course clutch. So it's up to you how you want to run it, but you can't run another blue on these gloves. Some gloves have a blue and a red. You can't have another blue because then it makes it so we can't have clutch. And then onto our knee pads, our final piece of Waven wear, we have crit chance, and then we have cloaked. So when that armor is stripped, boom, sets out an EMP and they can't use their skills. It's great. Bearing in mind that a lot of people are now running skills, whether it be the hive, their drones, turrets, whatnot. It's just going to knock that out, so they can't use it, even their heals. So talk about skills. Moving on to the skills, Seekers. The reason I say use these is because they make stagger. Stagger equals a free kill, and then I'd also recommend, and yeah, you're going to be shocked on saying this, the defender drone. Now in previous patches I have stated this is corny, I have hated the defender drone, but TTK seems so fast now, and you can get one shot by Seekers, one tapped by shotguns. There's so many other cheesy things, and this build lacks in survivability apart from clutch obviously, which you have to be shooting a person in order to survive. So like I said, it lacks in survivability, so we needed something. So the defender drone fits in there nicely, even though to me it is a cheesy skill and I don't particularly like it, but I would recommend running it with this build. So guys, these are the main stats. I would say pause the video if you want to go over them in greater detail. I'm not going to go through them individually. I'm going to leave some PVE gameplay at the end for you PVEs right there, so you can see how it performs in PVE. I left some PvP clips at the beginning of the video. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, Mod Squad.
Yeah.